Greetings, Earthling. I am a Martian. Not really. I am the Groom. And I am playing Terraforming Mars, the dice game. Kickstarter version. Basically what that means is I have some promo cards that I have already shuffled into the deck, and the bonus cards and the corporations, which I'm actually using one of those corporations today. The other thing we did get from the Kickstarter is the neoprene playmat. I chose just to go with the board today because I'm feeling low-key. So, Terraforming Mars, the dice game. First off, again, solo. What's really cool is they have these player aids, and on the back, it gives you the solo setup and how to play the solo. So basically, you use an unused player marker, put it starting at 1. We are going to be playing 50 turns. You are going to grab 4 bonus cards and select 1 to begin the game with. And we are going to go with this Terraforming Expert. I'll explain that in a minute. These get set aside up here for now. And when I cross 5 when I hit 5 and 12 points, I get to take another one, and then another one, and then discard the other one. Then we place a city on an area with a victory point bonus. You place an ocean next to that city, and then a forest next to the city in the ocean. You raise the oxygen 1 step, the temperature 1 step, but our score does not get increased or any bonuses. Then we'll play a turn normal. Then we'll move the turn marker. When it reaches these dots here, it will discard these milestones going from top to bottom. Hopefully I get them before they have to be discarded. That is the basics on that. The other endgame scoring are these. These are the awards, and you're going to count at the end of the game the cards you've played. Typically, whoever has the most gets 5, second most 3. In a 2-player game, only the 5 points are awarded. However, in a solo one, if it's a common resource, which these 2 are, I need to have at least 10 to get 5 points. If I have 9, I get 3 points. The arrow is an uncommon, so I need to have 8 of them to get 5 victory points or 7 to get 3. And we'll set this one aside. So let me explain how the turns work, and then I'll get into what these cards do. On my turn, I'll do one of 2 things. I'll do a production turn, which is I'll discard all dice that I have that's more than 3. So I can keep 3 dice as the faces that they are, because those are your resources. Save those, discard as many cards as I want from my hand, draw until I have 5 cards, take the production, which is anything in these brown boxes, and then roll them. And then if I've used any blue cards, I will unflip them, or any cards in general, so I can use them again. Or I can do an action turn. In an action turn, you do a support action first, which can be take a die of your choice and roll it, spend a resource to turn a die to any face, or spend a resource to draw 2 cards. You then do a main action, and there's various main actions you can do. You can play a card, spending the resources listed on top. You can do another support action. You can turn 3 of the Celsius degree dice in to raise the temperature a step, 3 water drops to put out an ocean, 4 leaves to put out a forest, 3 cities to put out a city, or 3 mega credit symbols to get 2 points. Some cards may also have support actions or main actions, so you can do those instead of what's listed here. Again, I'll do one of these, advance the tracker. Do one of these, advance the tracker. Do that 50 times. The goal of the game in a solo one is to hit all 3 parameters. In a multiplayer, you just have to do 2 of the 3. And that is it. So I will slide that over here, out of the way. So my starting corporation is Manutech, which gives me 4 wild tokens. These can be, as you expected, spent for anything, for they are wild. My production is a yellow and a gray die. So then you roll them, and that is my starting resources. I will put my resources over here. And then the Terraforming Expert did give me a blue die, so I'll roll that. And my effect is when I play a green card, which a terraforming expert is, as you can see, because it's green, I will immediately gain that production. So normally after you play a green card, you have to wait till you do the production phase in order to produce. I will be able to do it right away. I then put the green marker there to signify my player color. You start with 5 cards, and we will get started. So I have a power that helps me with green cards, and I have an entire hand of red cards. Alright, so what do I want to do first? Let's go ahead and we are going to grab, I think we're going to grab a yellow die with our support action and not roll what we needed. So then for our other support, or our main action, we're going to do another support action. Let's grab another yellow die. Still not getting what I needed. Alright. So that was that. They move forward. Really don't like these cards. I think we're going to start early and do a production phase, because I want to get some better cards in my hand. So let's go ahead and get rid of that, because we need to get down to 3 dice. Discard as many cards as you want, so that just helps me with points. Don't really need that. I forgot I had the wild ones. I'll get to those in a minute. And we'll keep those 3. Discard those 2. Draw till we have 5. And then grab our production, which is a yellow, a gray, and a blue. And roll them. And we have that. So that was our turn. They move forward. Let's see what we got now. So we don't have any green dice yet. We don't have any red dice. Let's go ahead. Can we play anything yet? We can't play the green card. We are going to do a support action. We are going to grab a red die. And then we are going to play a card. We're going to use our star and spend one of these to put out the bio import, which gives me a leaf and a paw. Also, so that gives me 1 end of game point. When it's got the red, it's end of game. The green shown here is during the game. I also now have 1 of each color, so I do get the generalist milestone. Done. Alright, so I'm almost to this one. So the question is, do I just spend my wild? Let's go ahead for my support. We're going to grab a red die. Perfect. And then we are going to spend the leaf, the paw, 1 of these is the microbe, 2 CC to put out this green card. And now, because of my corporation, I get to take the production immediately. And that's my turn. Now what do I have? Nothing, because I need red dice. And I don't have any. I'm still a bit away from the towing a comet. Let's go ahead and grab a red die. CC. We'll go ahead and spend a wild as a planet and a CC to do the world government greenhouse gases, which increases the temperature a step, which gives me that C back. And then the other difference in this one is when you terraform, it gives you 2 points, as opposed to the 1 in the other Terraforming Mars games. And that was my turn. Alright, again, my turn. So I quite a bit of stuff here. I think I want to... I'm going to do a support action twice to grab a red and a gray. That was my turn. So I almost have this one. I have that. I have that. I need a star. So let's go ahead and spend this gray to turn this to a star. And we'll use this as another star for towing a comet. And that all goes in there. Alright, so we increase the oxygen by a step, which gives us a green die. And 2 points. Then we place an ocean. There's the ocean tiles. And we're going to put that... Look at my hand. I need red die. No one give me red, so we'll go here, which gives me 2 points and 2 cards. What is with all these red cards? And then because I got on to 5 or more, I get to take one of these. Let's see what I just drew. Yep, we're going to take another aquifer. Put out an ocean on here. Grab 2 gray. Get 2 points. Roll 2 cities. Which I need one of them. Alright. And I think that was everything. My support action was I changed a die. My main action was I played the towing a comet, which let me get that aquifer. And I did all of that fun stuff. Alright, so they moved to there. And again, I have a bunch of red cards. So the corporate stronghold, I'm a gray away, so let's go ahead for my support, spend that, turn that into a hammer, city, and lightning bolt to play. We can kind of tuck those up. A corporate stronghold, which lets me put out a city. Let me just double check. This is what I kind of wish they would have put on the player aid, because this is a little different than the other one. When you put out a city, you get 2 for placing it, plus 1 per adjacent forest. So do I want to get the wild token, or do I want to get it... Well, I can't place it next to a city, so I can't go there. So I can put it up there to get a wild token. Is that what I do? Yep. So that's going to get me a wild token and 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And that was my turn. Now we are here. So is it worth doing a production phase? I think it is. So production, we are going to get rid of that green. Going to discard Fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. And then my production is a yellow, a gray, 2 blues, and a green. And there's all of that. And there. So we're starting the 5th of the way through. What do we got here? We got greenhouses, convoy from Europa. I don't have that yet. I don't have my space station. Might not be bad to get out though for the discount. Bird. So as a main action, I can spend as many animal prints to get that many points. Not caring about that. And then of course the comet. I think we're going to try and get out the space station. So let's go ahead and support action. Spend the flask to turn this to a star. Spend my wild to put out the space station. So I now have a star discount. So support action, we'll spend the plant to turn this into an arrow, water drop, star discount to put out an ocean, and do I have anything here? I'm probably going to end up doing production. Maybe. Kind of feel I want to just get some dice and roll them and see what happens. Roll the dice, see what happens. Let's just go with 2 green and see what happens, yeah. I have 1 of each green, and that picks me up 2. So I get the last bonus card. So do I get a yellow die or 2 extra storage? Let's go with the bonus die. So I will not be able to get logistics. Done. That gives me a yellow. Gives me a credit. Alright. And that was my turn. They're on to 12. So I have a leaf. And that's it. I have a paw print and a leaf. I do not have the O2. Don't really care about the birds either, though. Let's go ahead. And do 2 support to get 2 red. That is exactly what I needed. That is fantastic. So that was my turn. Alright, so I need this. I have the discount. So let's go ahead and spend the leaf to turn that to a water drop. And we're going to spend all of that resources to put out my comet. So we raise the temperature. Gives me 2 points. We put out an ocean, which I want a blue die. That's still water. Which gives me 2 points. They go up. And we are going to do production. Discard the blue. I'm going to discard the rest of my hand. So that gives me 5 new. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still don't get any green cards. This is getting ridiculous. Alright. Yellow, gray, blue, green, and yellow. This I've been enjoying about the game. I really like rolling dice. So, that was a water drop. There we go. Alright, there's that. What can we play? Is anything going to actually... Nothing here is increasing my terraforming. And that's a problem. Because that's what I need to do is terraform. So I'm close to this one. I need to get something that produces red dice. So if I get a city out there, nothing here does a city. So still not helpful. Alright, first support action. Let's grab a red die. Radioactive symbol. Okay. And then my second one, we're going to grab another red die. C. Alright, so that was my turn. Let's go ahead. Flask. Microbe that. We'll end up spending that card. My support action, we're going to spend a mega credit to draw 2 cards. Alright, this is a bit better. think we're gonna, yep, we're gonna still do that. That, there, and there to put out my designed microorganisms. That's my turn. They cross the first threshold, so scientists go out before I can get my third blue card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I just realized I got Celebrity. Celebrity is 3 cards that cost 5 or more. 5, 5, and 5. Alright, so it doesn't matter what he discards anymore. Cool. Alright, so this GHG producing bacteria could be helpful. I get that discount. I don't have a flask anymore. So we're going to spend these 2 to turn this to a flask and this to oxygen. Then we're going to spend the flask and the oxygen. I have a discount of a microbe to put out that GHG producing bacteria. As I said, it turned too late. Oh wait, I had to get my support action first. Ha! I'm going to roll a green die. And it's a leaf. Alright, and then I played that. That was my turn. I think we're doing production again. Let's go ahead and get rid of that gray one. And let's go ahead and let's keep the farmland for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I got a green card. I got a green card. Yay! I'm so excited. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yellow and gray. Blue, blue, green, and yellow are the dice that I'm grabbing. So money, city, lots of energy, paw print. Alright. So I do need a flask. And at least 1 gray. Is there anything I can put out immediately? Farmland, not quite. Media group, not quite. Ice cap melting, no. Alright, so support action. Oh wait, I didn't move after my production. There we go. So I'm going to take 2 support actions, spend that to flip this to a flask, spend that to flip this to a star. Support action, grab a red die. So those are the rare sides, but I don't really need those. And my main action, that, and an energy to put out the giant space mirror, which gives me the 2 blue immediately because of my corporation. Moving on. Farmland. Let's see. What do we got? Alright, so support action, we're going to get rid of an energy to turn this to a microbe. And then main action, I'm going to use this to spend the microbe to increase the temperature. Which, because I use this, I flip it, and then when I do the production phase, it will unflip. And then that also gives me 2 points. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead. Support action. Grab a red die. I don't know which one it was, so let's just re-roll it. Arrow. That's what I needed. So then my main action will be support to do that into there. Alrighty, support. Grab a yellow. Flask it up. And then spend those 3. Ice cap melting is going to give me a water and will let me put out another ocean, which is going to move me up 2. Bum, 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 bum. No, don't really help. So let's go ahead and roll 2 green. It's close. All right. So my support, I'm going to spend the water to turn this to a leaf, 2 leaves, and a water to put out my Arctic algae, which is whenever an ocean is put out, I will get a green dye. Now it is time to produce. So that's going to flip. We are going to discard both of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I got a couple of green cards. All right. Production is a yellow, a gray, blue, blue, green, yellow, blue, blue. All right, so got lots of water. Got one of each of my yellow. Got a hammer. Got a microbe, so that's good for that. Not doing too good with the oxygen, though. Let's see. If next to a forest, gain 2 of that. So can I put out anything readily? Microbe, water, don't have the C. Don't have the energy or that. Wouldn't mind trying to get that out, though. Alright. I didn't move him after production. So, for my support, I have that. I'm going to spend these 2 to turn this to a star and that to an energy. Now a support action. Let's go ahead and roll. Ooh, I got another microbe. That might help me in the very near future. Alright. So mega credit, energy, this, my discount. And put out asteroid mining, which gives me the production right away. And that was that turn. Alright, so I have my microbe. My support action, I am going to grab a yellow and hopefully roll a flask. Roll the flask. Perfect. I am now going to flask, microbe, water to put out my viral enhancers. As a free action, I can spend a microbe to grab a dye of any type. Alright. That's going to help me at some point. I already moved him. And I have so much stuff, so I don't want to do production yet. Oh, I spent. Alright, so support action, I'm going to spend one of these to put that as a water. Then as my main action, I'm going to turn the 3 water into an ocean, which is the last ocean. Put that here for a green dye. Gives me 2 points. Their turn. Now I'm going to produce, and I am going to discard my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Got some oxygen. Cool. Going through yellow, gray, couple of blue, a green, a yellow, a couple of blue, and a couple of gray. Boop. There's that. Here's my blue, my green. Alrighty. Now, time to see what we got going on. As is the case, I need red dice. Alright, so let's go ahead. Pretty sure I moved. Yep. So support is a red die, which is right there. And that can let me do the mining expedition, which is an energy, a hammer, and one of those. Which raises the oxygen. 2 points. 2 gray dice. And there. Deimos down would be nice. I have the stuff for kelp farming. Alright. Support. Red. Main action. 2 blue. A leaf and a microbe. To put out my kelp farming. Because of my corporation, I get the green. I have those. They move. Alright, I really need to get moving on those other ones. I did go with the oceans. Alright, so I need a hammer and an arrow. Or leaf. Alright, so I have the leaf. I have that. Alright, so support action. Gray die. Turn this to a water drop. Main action. Water drop. Celsius. Leaf to put out the mangrove, which lets me put out a forest. My first forest. So let me again double check the rule book. So it's a 1 victory point for each adjacent city. If I am able to do that, I can. So we're going to go right here. It's going to give me a green die. Raises this. Gives me 2 points for that and 1 for the city. Microbe. Perfect. They move. So the regolith eaters would do that. Is that where I want to go with this? The oxygen dice don't help me, but it would move up the oxygen there. Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to do, so a support action, red die. Then I get a microbe discount to put out my regolith eaters, which increases the oxygen, kicks me up 2, grabs me 2 temperature, and also gives me 2 O2 dice. Like so. Alright, going into the last 15 turns. So Deimos down. I only need 1 of these. I need a lot of different stuff for this. Got a lot of stuff to do here. Let's go ahead for our support. Let's grab a red. And our main action, we're just going to turn those in to increase that. And there you go. Yeah, what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and... I'm pretty sure I forgot to grab those a couple of times. I don't have that for that or that. Let's go ahead and... We're going to go ahead and, for support, spend a green to to turn that into a microbe. We are then going to spend the microbe for my main action, or actually for a free action, to go here and get one of anything, which is going to be a city. And then I'm going to use these 3 cities to put out a city tile on here. Give me 2 red dice, and it gives me 2 points. And they move. So now I have those. 2 support actions. We are going to get rid of those to turn this to an energy. And this to a hammer. And then we are going to spend, then let's go ahead and support a red die or green die. Main action. Spend all that. Deimos down. Moves this up 1, 2. So that gives us 4. Done. And they move. Support action, I am going to grab a red die. And then the main action, I am going to spend this to move that up, which gives me 2 blue dice. On the water, and 2 points, they move up. So I guess we're producing, and we're just going to get rid of the 2 blue, seeing as I don't produce any red. These flip. I have no cards to discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. And we produce. So yellow, gray, blue, green, blue, yellow, blue, blue, gray, gray, green, green. Microbes, couple of leaves. There's that. And they move up. So going into the final turns. So I can do the small asteroids. I need to increase that twice. So I got that taken care of. It's all about the trees now. 2 mega credits, 2 leaves. That works. Alright, so we are going to grab a yellow die for our support action. And then we are going to spend our 2 mega credits and our 2 leaves for a peninsula. Well, that card's useless now. So that is put out a forest. If next to an ocean, gain 2 blue dice. We can put it right there, which is so 2 blue dice and a green die. And then that goes up. I get 2. And that goes there. Imported nitrogen. Give me a good chance to get that. Biomethane. Small asteroid. So both of those need that. Alright, let's do a small asteroid first. Oh, alright, so I keep forgetting this. Support action. Because I just want to keep playing cards. That. Done. Small asteroid. Spend that. Put out a small asteroid. Increases that. I move up 2. He moves up 1. Support action. Grab a green die. Roll it. Then planet. And arrow. Imported nitrogen. That gives me 4 green dice. Plants, plants, plants. That was a plant. You saw it. And microbe. They move up. Alright, support action. Spend one of these. Turn that to a leaf. Main action. Spend 3 of those to put out a forest. I'm going to go right there. She's going to give me a card. 1, 1, 2. Kicks that up. They move. Next thing. Spend the micro for a free action to take whatever. I'm going to take a paw print. Support action will be... Just go ahead and discard this to draw 2 cards. Alright. And main action, those 3 to put out a forest, which will push this up and give me 2. And we're going to put the forest right there. It's going to be 1, 2 more points. 1, 2. They move. So biomethane would finish us up. Now I'm kind of looking at points. I really am. That is so much stuff. I think we're going to just end it. So, footprint, biomethane pushes this up, gives me 2 points, and goes. So I accomplished it with 3 to go, because once all 3 parameters are done, we are over. I'm 99% sure. Solo. The goal is complete. If you reach that goal, you may also count your final score. If you fail, alright, yep. So, done. Alrighty, so now we add up our final score. So we go through certain order. Where's the order? Going right back to the rulebook. So first thing we look at is awards. So again, for these, I need to have at least 10 of these C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 10, nor do I even have 9, so that is nothing. The hammer. 1, 2. I have 2. Again, need at least 10. Nothing. The arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I need at least 8 to get 5 points. I did, so I'm at 57. Milestones, I get 4 points each for that. And then any cards have victory points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's it. So I have a score of 74, which according to this table is I'm getting the hang of this. That I am. I will say I did enjoy this solo play more than the normal game because that one just feels so hard to get the parameters accomplished in time because you have to build up for so long to get to where you're getting enough resources and everything to get that going. This one just felt a bit more smoother with that and builds you up a bit quicker. Especially those bonus cards are an awesome addition. So, I was the Groom, playing Terraforming Mars, the dice game. I am now going to roll out.